This video is sponsored by Buyee. It's finally time. We're back. Fuzzy Comics is consulting and Dry Designs is doing all the art as, yes, at last, on Karn's Holiday Hootenanny. We're gonna fix all the Kindness Armor Digimon.
Ho, ho, ho. Happy holidays!
What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome to Karn's Holiday Hootenanny 2023. Normally we have a 12 videos of Christmas, but this year I'm just gonna make as many videos as I want for the holiday season. Also, yes, my mic is handheld today because I already packed up my microphone stand because I'm going on vacation. So I want to stress when I say that we're fixing the Kindness Armor Digimon, what we're really doing is modifying it, making it so that they're more similar to the Armor Digivolutions we saw in the show. There is zero ill will, zero shade to any of the artists or indeed Bandai. And in fact, all of these Digimon, all of these Kindness Armor Digimon, as Digimon are great, I just think they fall short as actual armors. We want to see the rookie's body under there, like Flamedramon, Raydramon, or Magnamon. It can be stretched out or morphed, but it still needs to be recognizably Vmon under there. And we want to see the actual Digimental Armor Digi-Egg forming the armor. Submarimon is literally the Digi-Egg of reliability wrapped around Armadillomon, as opposed to, say, Arkelomon, which is aquatic but lacks the armor Digi-Egg design almost entirely. Kindness is my favorite crest in Digimon, but I just think the armors for Kindness have always missed. The concept, I think, is they're supposed to be cutesy and kind, and they definitely all are, and I like that idea, but when we consider other caring crests like Love, we have some really great armors that actually look like the Digi-Eggs. So what myself, Fuzzy, and this video's artist Dry decided is that we needed to preserve the rosebud feel of the Digi-Egg of Kindness. It is something that's attempted with the recurring red gloves vibe going on with a lot of these Digimon, but I think just falls short. We also want to make these Digimon feel cute, but that they could kick your ass, and mix in offensive and defensive capabilities. We also look specifically to the Digi-Egg of Hope and Light, as they are self-referential. The other armor Digi-Eggs, besides the golden ones, add a power from the original Digimon's crest. So Flamedramon is Vmon plus the dragon and flame traits of the Agumon line. But with Hope and Light, it was Patamon and Gatomon tapping into Patamon and Gatomon, creating more animalistic but yet still holy forms akin to Angemon and Angewomon, but also looking much more like straightforward evolutions of Patamon and Gatomon. Pegasusmon looks like a big Patamon, Nefertimon looks like a big Gatomon. So for our new take on the Digi-Egg of Kindness, we wanted to connect more to Wormmon and Stingmon being bugs, insects, but in a way that was unique to the Digi-Egg of Knowledge. So with all that out of the way, we begin with the non-02 Kindness armors, and why not Patamon? Patamon ordinarily Kindness armor digivolves to Prairiemon, and you know what? This actually does work as a Patamon evolution, but the Kindness is just manifesting as a, well, kid gloves, I guess. A recurring theme, except these are just spiked, slashing gloves like Freddy Krueger. I kind of squinted sideways at these and interpreted that maybe the intent was for them to be the thorns of roses, like the rosebud of the Digi-Egg, but in the end, Fuzzy, Dry, and myself decided this needed a page 1 rewrite. Now, Patamon Kindness armor digivolves to Hoppamon. Hoppamon is based on grasshoppers and skaters / extreme sports enthusiasts. You can obviously see the Patamon element underneath, but manifesting in a very different way, and the pinks, rosebuds, and of course, most importantly, the crest are actually in this design, which a lot of non-02 armors lack, but if you look at pretty much every armor digivolution from 02, they have the crest there, and I love the way that Dry took some of Patamon's fur and turned it into like a little scarf. The bulbs on its feet are super bouncy, and anything this Digimon manages to kick bounces off them. Hoppamon is an expert in parkour and is covered from head to toe in protective gear, so it can jump from any place and not hurt itself. Next is Opposumon, and honestly, as a Digimon, I love Opposumon. I can even totally see how it's a Gatomon Evo or Slide evolution at least. You can even be generous and say that Opposumon's gloves, shoes, and hat are technically sort of, kind of armor. I guess if Shurimon counts, so does this. And they are red, which is almost the pink of the Digi-Egg of Kindness, but honestly, Opposumon reads more like creepy Mickey Mouse to me. Those balloons and its various anime appearances make it feel more tricksy, like the inverse of kindness, like it's using kindness as a weapon. I don't know. It just reads more creepy to me than the armor digivolutions from the show should be, so we have remedied that with Nimmon. Dry based this primarily on an insect called the spittlebug, sometimes known as the nymph, that protects itself by creating foam bubbles around it. Dry then merged that idea with the other kind of nymph, the forest / sea fairies from Greek mythology, and also astronaut suits. Nymphs are also the name for baby insects that don't hatch as caterpillars. And what a design this is! You know, it's kind of reminiscent of Digimon like Espimon or the more bubbly, fresh, and in training Digimon, but also what a great Gatomon armor digivolution, an astronaut cat based on insects. What an incredible merging of ideas. The Crest of Kindness is on there, the Gatomon elements are underneath the spacesuit, still visible, and this just stood out to me in the design process. What a fantastic design. Nimon is a Digimon that creates protective bubbles around it and others, protecting them from the elements and providing oxygen even in space. So yeah, it and Espimon would probably get along really well. And hey gamers, custom art costs money, and that is why I am always happy to be joined on these videos by today's sponsor, Buyee. Buyee is that proxy service getting you access to goods from Japan, Mercari, Rakuten, Yahoo Japan Auctions and Shopping, Japanese eBay, PayPay, Flea Market, tons more. They got a browser extension which you can use to shop directly on websites like Amazon JP, add to your Buyee cart and ship out. They also have private warehouses. They will store your items at your warehouse for up to 30 days for totally free. Then you can choose how you want to combine shipping and get it all sent out to you. And to make it all the sweeter, Buyee is offering my viewers a 10% off coupon when you sign up for Buyee with my link in the description. So if you want to get yourself some Digimon goods, you can save 10%. If something's like $100, it becomes $90. How good of a deal is that? So make sure you're checking out my link in the description down below, signing up for Buyee to get yourself a bargain on some Digimon goods from Japan. Let's get to the next custom art. And our next revision is Toucanmon, which again isn't bad. It's a bird with Mickey Mouse clothes, looks like a Pride Lands Kingdom Hearts form for King Mickey or something, and I think comes really close to what we might be looking for an armor digivolution. It's a bird like Hawkmon, it's got some egg-ish elements, but I think we could definitely be more in line with the designs we've already made, which is why Dry has brought to life Hummingmon. So the connection to insect here is a little bit more loose, but hummingbirds are some of the only species who can actually hover like an insect, and they're also an important factor in pollination in their habits, just like bees. So while obviously hummingbirds aren't insects, they behave and function very similarly to insects, and Dry gave it 2 sets of wings just to push that connection further. I love the look of this one. The goggles, I guess it could be a gogglehead partner, mixing in with the hummingbird motif to create a hummingbird slash jet plane slash actual pilot feel, and there's still visible Hawkmon elements underneath, which is great. Hummingmon is covered by a cloud of pollen that protects and coats it. It works as a crop duster in fields and forests, and because of how fast this Digimon beats its wings and the trail it leaves behind, most mistake it for a secret government plane. And from Hawkmon we go to Armadillomon. And Chamelemon, what happened here? I think the logic was supposed to be bugs and insects, aka Wormmon slash Stingmon, plus Armadillo equals chameleon? I can sort of see it, right? Green Wormmon, body of Armadillomon, it sort of almost makes that in a weird extrapolated way, but honestly this just reads like a sincerity armor digivolution if anything. It is properly armored on the front though, so I will give it props. But anyway, let's totally scrap it and start again with Rolymon. Dry based Armadillomon's armor on the roly-poly or pill bug. Not only are pill bugs and other isopods super prehistoric, just like the ancient Digimon Armadillomon and its evolution Ankylomon being based on a dinosaur, pill bugs are also the insect version of an armadillo, being in the family Armadillidae? I don't know if I said that right. Dry also took some inspiration from mine clearing vehicles and tanks, which use giant chains or arms to detonate mines in front of them. And wow, look at this dude! Very recognizably Armadillomon, it really fits in next to Submarimon for instance, and has a little bit of Digmon going on too, but it rolling around at the speed of sound while being a roly-poly, a pill bug. Oh, it's so good. Kind of actually reminds me of the Armadillozord from Wild Force, or like a wheel warrior maybe. Rolymon is a rolling fortress that can protect its passengers from any harm. Using its hind legs as brakes, it can drive incredibly fast through any terrain. Alright, so I've talked about this a lot in videos, but Vmon definitely gets the best hand dealt to it when it comes to non-02 armor digivolutions. And this definitely extends to Kangarumon. It has boxing gloves, which as we said are sort of a theme of existing kindness armors, and you can 100% see the Vmon under there. So this is the only one of the video we're not going to be totally redesigning, instead taking a lot of the principles that we liked about Kangarumon and then transliterating them to the design that we went with, which is Mantismon. I felt that Kangarumon was already the embodiment of cute but will kindly kick your ass, so he kept the same vibe but pivoted it to the mantis shrimp, known for having the strongest punch in the animal kingdom, and it's a mantis shrimp. Shrimps are also arthropods, and this one has mantis in the name, so we agreed that it fit with the insect theme overall, in a similar way that hummingbirds did. Now you could totally still call this Kangarumon if you wanted to, but I think it works so well. Still has visible Vmon elements underneath, but now 4 arms, making it much more punchy, like the mantis shrimp. The kindness armor I think has come together so much better here, really feeling reminiscent of the actual Digi-Egg, but still being true to that original Kangarumon stuff that we liked. There's some belts going on here, we got some green from Wormmon and Stingmon, and of course the kindness crest on the helmet. I am really happy with how this came out. Any opponent that gets too close to Mantismon receives a barrage of punches so fast and dazzling that it gets disorientated. And yes, finally, that brings us to Bucchiemon. As the trendsetter, I admit it could be worse. The design of Bucchiemon, like all these armors, is actually great, but it just kind of comes from a misjudged prompt, I guess. The actual core tenets of what they wanted the design to be, in my opinion, aren't accurate to what armor Digimon tend to be. Now, it does look incredibly kind, very approachable. And it has the antenna of Wormmon transformed to have love hearts on the end, which, yeah, I mean, kindness and love do go together. We've used heart motif in this video. Kindness and love / sincerity literally going together in the case of Yoli and Ken. But aside from that, I think there's very little Wormmon in Bucchiemon. You can't see any notable green elements, and when they tried to remedy that, I think they went too far the other way by making the fully green Bucchiemon, which doesn't resemble the armor Digi-Egg in any way. So I want to build the bridge here and say that I do think Bucchiemon is really cute, and I do kind of love it in a way. I just want to give Wormmon a true kindness armor Digivolution of its own, and that is where Dry stepped in to create Orchidmon. Contrary to Kangarumon, Bucchiemon had a lot to improve on as a kindness armor. Dry went with the Orchid Mantis as the base, like some initial concepts that Fuzzy and I had, but then he made sure to make it fit in more with the cute but will kindly kick your ass motto, and also gave it more armor, and this is an armor Digimon, let's not forget. The result is a loyal knight, not royal knight, Digimon who will protect their partner at all costs, with their flexible sword / shield arms. Dry imagined it would also work great in a Digivolution line with things like Jewel Beamon and Bloom Lordmon. And yeah, I think this has come out so well. There are still elements of Bucchiemon here, keeping the antenna on top, the pinkness, but giving it more defensive and offensive capabilities, but still kind overall. Feeling a little bit like Stingmon, a little bit like Wormmon with the body under there, and with the crest of kindness on proud display, plus the idea of the Orchid Mantis, which is incredible to me, has never been turned into a Digimon, specifically a kindness armor Digimon, because it is a mantis insect that looks exactly like an orchid or a flower. It's just a no-brainer to me that that should be the inspiration for a Wormmon kindness evolution. And that is it. All of our kindness armor redesigns. Hoppamon, Nimon, Hummingmon, Rolymon, Mantismon, and Orchidmon. Make sure you go follow Dry and Fuzzy on all their relevant social media. Links are in the description down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, please consider becoming a channel member so we can do more than 2 a month. Just like my sovereigns, ZDK14, Jmon, and Mickey-D343, my incredible Digi-Destin, thank you all so much, Tamers, Con Club, everyone else who supports the channel with their hard-earned money. Hope you're all having a good holiday season so far. We've got some really cool stuff kicking up for you, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye-bye.